Hi, my name's Will.
I'm Amelia.
And we're here with the Mental Health Foundation, the charity that believes in good mental health for all. And we're going to have a chat about uni. So as you've probably seen, the Mental Health Foundation has been posting loads of stuff about mental health and university and going to university, and especially in the middle of a pandemic, just trying to keep on top of everything. So we're here to just answer some questions about university and being a fresher and how that affects your mental health, and just give you some advice basically. So just a little bit about ourselves. So we both live in Bath, which is fun.
Lovely.
Yeah, especially in the middle of a pandemic when there's nothing to do. But I study drama with psychology, which is a bit of a random combination, and I go to the University of Sussex.
And I study Psychology and Criminology joint honours, and I go to Bath University.
So we've written some questions down, we being us and the charity itself, questions that we wish we'd known the answer to when we went to university. So I've just finished first year, I took a year off before I went to uni. You've just finished your second year, you're going into your last year, aren't you?
Yeah.
So let's jump right in. What's your favourite thing about university?
The people I've met there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I joined the American football team there, and they are by far the best people and things you can be around.
It's just imagine just being around a football and you're like, this makes me feel good.
It does, yeah, it does.
Yeah, mine's probably a joint, like a tie between the people, like meeting a fresh group of people who, like, everyone comes from different areas, different backgrounds, is interested in different things. So it's nice to have like a fresh environment, and also the independence. Like during sixth form and college and stuff, obviously because you're like just turning 18, you know, everything has to go by your parents. Like, I'm going here, am I going to be in for dinner, blah blah blah, which you can't blame them for, like they're your parents, that's their job. But when you go to university, there's a lot more like, I'm just going to do this because I want to do it and I don't have to run it by everybody, and you can have a lot more free will.
Yeah. What is the one thing that surprised you at uni? For me, what surprised me was how much work you had to put into what you were doing. So you're going to uni with this idea that you're doing the one subject that you enjoy more than the others. So it's, in an ideal world, it's going to be easier, but it's a lot of work that you have to do, and you have to put in a lot of work to get the grades that you want, you know. You can be as naturally smart as anyone, but you also still need to put in that work.
Yeah, that is true. And
I think that maybe the first few assignments that I'd done, I think that maybe threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, I think everyone I know, like, regardless of like what your foundation level was of like, I think I'm gonna get this, everyone was like, oh, I'm gonna get, say, a 69 on this, it's gonna be really easy. And then everyone did their first assignment and was like, I got a 44. and I definitely did that. I was like, oh, I'm not good at my subject. But then by the end of the year, in your first year, like, your grades do go up.
Yeah. You get the hang of uni.
Something that also surprised me was like, I'm a very sociable person, I'm quite extroverted, I love socialising, but how tiring socialising can be. Like, oh my god. Because like when you've been, you know, before you go to university, you've known all the people you're friends with for at least 2 years, but anywhere between literally 2 and in our case like 16, 17 years. Like, and then so you're socialising with them isn't tiring, it's something you do naturally. But then you go to university and you're constantly meeting people and you're constantly like bobbing about. And then all of a sudden you go back and you're like, oh my god, I'm actually really tired. You're like, what have I done? And it took me ages to realise, oh, I'm like, all I did was like go to the pub, but it's because I'm going to the pub and I'm like constantly like trying to be like conversational.
And you're constantly meeting new people as well.
Yeah. Tip number 1, get used to having the same conversation over and over again. So what do you study? Where are you from? What did you do at A-levels? What did you get? Is this your firm choice? How did you choose your accommodation? Was it what you expected? So when I chose my accommodation, I just wanted the cheapest one available because it meant that I had more of my maintenance loan available to spend. I wasn't too fussed about like sharing a bathroom and having like a smaller kitchen. I just wanted to have more money, basically. Which sounds really shallow, but that is quite an important thing at university.
No, I've done the exact same thing as you. I had the choice of getting accommodation, but I go to uni in Bath. I live in Bath, and I was like, what's the cheapest way to do this? So I stayed at home. Yeah, cheap way to go.
Yeah.
It means you get to save more, especially if you work as well.
But I also think that for us, like, we weren't necessarily bothered. Like, I knew that like, going for the cheapest, I knew that the quality of the things that I was using, like the kitchens and the bathrooms and stuff, like they were going to be old. Like, that's the reason they're the cheapest. If you're someone who's really bothered by like mess and like dirt and you want your own space, like it's worth investing the money to get better accommodation. Like, don't be like, oh my god, that accommodation is really expensive, even though it's what I want, I can't get it. Like, don't do that. Don't go for the one you want. And just, you know, I was lucky that the one I wanted was the cheap one.
Yeah.
Have you joined any societies? How have they impacted you?
Yes, I have. I mentioned previously. I joined my American Football Society at university, and it, in a very cliche way, it very much changed how I perceived university. My first year, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but it was lacking something, I guess. And it was in my second year, actually, that I joined my American Football Society, and my enjoyment of university has just spiked. I absolutely, you know, you get more immersed in the university as a whole. When we go out to play games, you mix with other universities as well, and it's quite a nice community feeling.
Yeah, I think a lot of sports have that, don't they? Like
and like because of you've got that sort of like teamwork mentality as well. I found it helped sort of like if I was feeling like a bit off one day, it'd be like I know I've got my teammates there to back me, because you know it's such a tight group of great people.
Because I mean, this is gonna sound even more cliche, but like the team goes past the field. It does,
it absolutely does. Yeah, you've got that sort of like connection with each other.
Yeah, I think societies are a great way to meet new people outside of your flat, but those people you meet have the same interests, which is the society. It doesn't matter how different you are, you've got that thing in common.
What are some of the main things you do to take care of your mental health at uni?
My answer is an answer that I wish wasn't an answer, because it's exercise. When in first time I didn't go to the gym, and then I was up and down, and then I started going to the gym in second term, and it really helped, because I went with a friend, I went with someone who I'm really close with, and it does, as much as you don't want to believe it, because you're like, oh, exercise, it does really help. Yeah,
similar to you as well. Exercise and with my society as well. But I actually got into sort of meditation and mindfulness. Yeah, and just sort of took a step back from what's happening at hand, and rather than seeing all of these assignments and deadlines I've got all at once, you just sort of like process it a bit more. That took a lot of effort though, like I didn't get that straight away. That's a lot of effort to do, but it really paid off for me, and sort of that's something that I'm really focusing on now as well, even especially through this pandemic. That's been a lot of stress and anxiety, I know, on a lot of people, including myself, so that's something that I've taken into account there. But yeah, taking time for yourself as well. You always need to take time for yourself, especially when your deadlines are building up.
Yeah, the best thing you can do though is just talk about it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Just talk about it. Someone wants to listen, someone will listen. Just talk about it.
That support will always be there, even if you don't think it is. You will find someone.
If you go to talk about it with someone and they don't care, it's them that's the bad person, it's not you.
Good Lord, yes.
Like, you've tried to open up about your mental health. I don't know anybody who has opened up about their mental health and then regretted it.
Yeah.
Just talk about it. Which is not easy sometimes.
Oh, no.
But once you do, it's up from there.
even then, like once you do, it's still not easy to keep going, but the help you can get from it is always worth it. It's worth that struggle, and just to get it out.
Also, you know, if you're really struggling at the beginning, like, you know, first month, freshers, whatever, everyone is in the same boat. It doesn't matter if you've known that person a month. It doesn't matter if you've just met them. They are probably feeling the same thing as you. I had chats with my flatmate like 2 weeks in about how we were both like, I love being at uni, it's really fun, but like it's just weird because it's completely brand new. And I was doing that with someone I'd known for 2 weeks, and it was the best thing we did.
Yeah.
How do you feel about mental health stigma?
I think stigma around mental health is one of the biggest hurdles in talking about it and in getting help about it. I know that it is so, certain sort of like phrases are so often used in everyday language that it sort of trivializes them. It doesn't make it serious, so you get the whole thing. So for like a personal issue with OCD, you get the whole thing of people, I don't know, fixing their book to be straight, and they're like, oh my god, I'm so OCD. And it gets really difficult because as someone who suffers from it, you're like, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
And it's hard to listen to stuff like that when it can be really debilitating in sort of like everyday life. And I think stuff like that, when people sort of have that sort of like stigmatization of, oh, it's either not that bad or it's, oh, they're depressed, sort of like, be careful around them. I think that whole stigmatization really is just that main barrier in people not talking about it, because people were more open about it in a more sort of like academic way, so to speak. They knew how to deal with it, and it was just more of a factual thing. I think people would be a lot more comfortable in being able to open up about it and being able to say, I think I have this and I think I need help. Someone help me, which just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So.
And that is the end of the questions. So thank you for watching. Make sure to check out the rest of the videos and content we've uploaded for the week. And follow Mental Health Foundation on Instagram because they post loads of really great stuff and affirmations to keep you going through university. Any final words, Amelia?
Talk about your mental health.
You heard it here first.